They start like this, Crusty Rusty. And they end up like this. We got a lot to see. Hold on, vintage motorcycle fans. Cycledrag Universe, motorcycle fans, thank you so much for stopping back for another video, and we have a great one, so you better sit back, relax, put your feet up, and watch this one till the end, because you know what we do. We travel the world to find you the best motorcycle stories, people, parts, bikes, and oh my goodness, am I pumped to go into this shop, because we are here, a hidden gem, Escondido, California. This is the shop of famous motorcycle restoration expert Nori Miyata. Now, if you don't know who Nori is, then you didn't watch our Mecum coverage the last few years. In fact, this past year, Nori broke the record for an H2 750 sale price. Let's take you back to that this past January. Guys, we could reset the market on an H2 trying to get to 34,000. They try to break a world record. This is the 1972 Kawasaki H2 750 Widowmaker. May be the finest in the world. May set a new world record today. We just talked to Nori, the legendary builder from Southern California, and he's hoping he can eclipse $34,000 on this motorcycle. Oh, we're almost there. We're almost there. Oh, we did it. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta give them a new world record, guys. $41,000 for that beautiful H2. Congratulations. How you feeling right now, Nori?
Yeah, it's good on that bike for sure.
Certainly was special. So I've been talking to Nori and his partner Mac for years, and I said one of these days I have got to get to your shop and see how this is done, because I'm going to tell you right now, with motorcycle restoration, I have done it. I've used a lot of very helpful, knowledgeable people, a shade tree mechanic like myself. It's a lot harder than you think, but it can be done with the know-how and a never say die work ethic. But guys, you want to see the Crusty Rusty and see how they get transformed? Let's go. Wow, I can tell we must be in the right place, because look at the motorcycle sitting outside. Absolutely amazing. Look at all the parts here as well. Oh my God, what's up on the stand? Let's see if I can find, ladies and gentlemen, I see somebody I recognize. How about one of the greatest motorcycle restoration experts in the world, Nori? Thank you so much for having us. It is great to be in Escondido, California.
Yeah, it's nice.
Thoroughly impressed with your shop so far.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, Nori, I don't know where to begin. We have got so much to see. It's amazing what you're able to do. First off, you told me you start with a motorcycle that looks like this. And it's truly amazing that we just saw the coverage of how you broke the world record at Mecum. Congratulations. They start like this. How do they end up looking the way that we've been accustomed to out of the Nori Miyata collection?
Yeah, I mean, it's just no, no gimmick or trick or anything. Mac and I work hard. Like a lot of tedious work, most like 90% of the work is just kind of clean up and, taking rust off of it, stuff like that. So
we can see some of the collection back here. This is some of the inventory. Wait, there's Max in the house. Good to see you as well. Hey, we're not at Mecum. I told you one of these days I would make it out here for sure. Well, guys, this is awesome. I appreciate you guys letting me into your shop so much. We got a lot to talk about. So, Nori, let's just begin with the process of, first off, let me back up. How long have you guys been doing this, and how did you meet each other?
We, actually, I've doing these things from like early 90s.
Wow.
To do. I mean, not whole restore. I used to work and own that regular motorcycle shop.
Okay.
And it also, I was like collecting all the classic bikes. And then Mac was working on one of the salvage yard by the time, like 30 years ago. So
yeah.
Then that's where we met. So then, after that, Mac works for some other shop, and I work for another shop. And about what, like 10
years ago.
10 years ago or so. Then, I just strictly doing those like classic bikes.
Well, what a perfect
So
team.
Then, the salvage place that I worked at
closed down. Then, hey, Mac,
Yeah, they moved
let's
all
work
that
together.
over to his garage, and then he moved away, and Here I am.
Yeah.
Well, you guys quickly have earned the reputation of some of the best at Mecum, and we see some absolute talent there. Let me tell you what. So let's take a look at what we're looking at right now. This is an H1 500?
Yeah,
What year is
1970.
1970. Where did you find this bike at?
This one's in, I think, Salt Lake City.
Found in Salt Lake City. Is this a
Yeah.
barn find? Is this something that you go on the internet to find? Is this word of mouth? How do you get these bikes?
Don't remember well, but I think it is one of the internet or something. Or my friend told me a bunch of H1 and H2 in one place, so that I went there.
Well, we know two strokes are all the rage right now. H2, H1 is not far behind, but I know you said you like them crusty rusty. Well,
Oh, yeah.
This is about as crusty rusty as it gets. So
this
don't worry.
this is a good condition for us.
Okay.
Wow. It's crusty rusty, but this is not
It's
a
a good condition for him. That shows the talent that he does have.
Yeah, you see something like that, out of the chicken
take a
coop
look.
in Fresno or something.
Oh, wow. What do we have
Look
over here? It looks
this
like
is
a
KZ900. But
KZ900.
look at this thing, yeah, every bolt's nuts, you try to take it out, then it's going to snap. So,
Well, Nori, you just said a mouthful right there, and I really want people to understand that because that's what I went through. Everybody thinks they've got a motorcycle out in the shed worth $1 million, but to actually restore one of these things, it can be miserable, especially if you don't know what you're doing. I know mine, like you said, every bolt wanted to strip coming out when we first got it. It was sitting outside. It looked a lot like this. So let's start with this KZ, Nori. What is step one to make this thing look like a showstopper compared to where it is right now?
yeah, just try to take all bolt nuts off and just strip it out to the bone bare frame. And hopefully the motor can be potted out too. Sometimes it's just the piston and cylinder is stuck. And it just won't
Yeah, you can't get the darn things apart.
Yeah. So if that happens, I take it to my friend Randy's shop, and hopefully he can do it. But if not,
Good Lord. Now, let me ask you this, Nori, because I know that a lot of people talk about the importance of numbers matching. Is that something that you look for right away? We saw it this past year and making how important that VIN is, that the motor's
Right.
got to match.
I
Is that
mean,
the
like
first thing you do?
this motorcycle is brand new. It was like 1970s or, somewhere around like,
frame number.
late 70s or so. And, sometimes motor being swapped. So it depends on what I get. So then I check that VIN and the motor number. So if matching set, then we will restore it to close to original.
Yeah.
But if not matching number or anything, then we can customize the bike to
Gotcha.
how I want it.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
the only bikes that actually have matching numbers are old Yamahas,
Sure.
and their frame and engine number are the same.
Sure, absolutely.
Well, I mean,
These
yeah.
these
Yeah.
will be, there's like a range, and as long as they're in that range, then it's likely that's where they started life with.
Yeah.
No doubt there. Nori, I know that when I was in Reading, a very, very talented man who does this, he talked about taking extensive photos of the bike before he disassembles it. Are you at a point where you do that, or do you guys, have you done so many of these that you can really just put them back together from memory?
Oh yeah, I shoot a picture some of it, but most of the time like a KZ or triple and then all that Honda CB750, I've done so many of it, so then I don't have to do that bad.
'Cause I know I can tell you as the shade tree mechanic I am, that's where I was humbled. I have a 77 and it certainly wasn't this bad, but it needed a lot when I bought it in high school in 2001. Started tinkering away with it, and eventually I got to the point where I was like, hey, I want to strip this thing down and have a nice
Do it.
painted frame.
Yeah.
Well, as a young boy, it only took a day to strip it down, but boy, was I humbled. Just getting everything back right. Even if you've got a book, it can be so tough. So I give you guys a lot of credit. And we start with Crusty Rusty, and then let's go over here and take a look at some of your finished product, because this is amazing, guys. This is what it ends up looking like over here. This one, of course, is a hot rod, retro rod. We say that because it's not 100% stock. It's customization. Tell us what we're looking at here, Nori.
It is KZ 1000 Mark II. Wow. It's 1979. So yeah, we put it was like it came kind of a stretch halfway drag bike. So then
It was a drag bike. Okay.
yeah, it was like a long straight swing arms on
Really
it.
long it had.
Yeah, that actually this seat
it had a
section was
seat.
extended
Yeah, it
a
had
little
the
bit
seat.
longer.
The seat was about this long. It was
Yeah.
still-
So I was like, nah, you know, like, are we
was
just gonna
horrible.
do it like our way? So then I have this ZRX 1100.
I noticed we got the ZRX
Yeah,
shocks
front
on the
end,
back.
rear ends
Chrome
on it.
ZRX swing arms. Those ZRX wheels on it.
Yep.
ZRX wheels.
Yeah, and that's-
Yeah, front ends too.
34 Mikuni flat slides on it. I think it's an awesome bike, and I think everybody watching down below in the comments will agree. But as evidenced by what we saw at Mecum, and you two being the businessmen that you are, boy, we learned at Mecum right now, it's the original bikes and not the resto rods that bring in money. You showed that off. I thought your H2 hot rod was awesome, but got a fraction.
See how the hot rod does.
Take a look at the other one that he has. He used some creativity. He put a Kawasaki ZX6 front end, wheels, SV650 swing arm on the end. It's a hot rod. It's not original. Will that cost him in terms of value? We're about to find out because they're about to hit the auction block.
You're gonna lose some value when you make it less original.
He told me, these are his words, not mine. He said, and I quote, I don't want to go home with a chopstick up my rear end.
21,000. Sir, just give 21. Don't get mad. Just give 21. You want to get 21? 21. You be mad at the dealer, not me. 21. 21,000. Last call. 2021. $20,000 on there.
Hey, $20,000. Not what he was hoping for, but we kind of saw that one coming.
Chopsticks up the rear end on that
But the second bike with the custom bike was kind of half, chopstick is kind of halfway into a little bit on my head, maybe 4 inches off.
As you affectionately said, you ended up with a chopstick up your bum on that one.
Yeah.
But thank goodness, I think you made up for it on hitting a home run on the stock H2. Where do you think we're at as a collector market here that everybody seems to just maybe shy away from the hot rod bikes, or is that something we're only seeing at Mecum?
I think it's only in the Mecum. Mecum people is a lot different, you know, all kinds of motorcycle people around. So some people like custom bike and some people's not. So my bike wasn't fit into that Mecum people, I think, you know, or maybe they're not getting used to it yet. So, or they didn't see enough custom bikes around.
Well, and then you see the I don't know, we call them catalog bikes, the ones that are like SS motor and a custom frame and this and that.
Sure.
And these guys have got like 60 grand in the thing, and the thing sells for like $14,000. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta
That
love
was,
it.
You know,
that
that
was
was
the tire this wide on the back. And,
Yeah, that one was the reason why, because I had that H2 motor for a while. Then I get another frame. So which was like not matching number bike, but it was like a 1972. Also the motors and the frame. So it's not came from same bike. So then I had another, you know, ZX6R laying around, blown motor. I mean, no motor actually. So then, hey, you know, let's put those things together and makes a cool bike. And then I found that those like a coil expansion chambers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
I put that things together, and up it is really cool bike to me. Like,
Well, I think that's the same thing that we're looking at right here. This would be a very cool bike to myself, and a lot of people may not be one that's going to get top dollar at Mecum because they want it all original, all stock, but a very, very cool bike nonetheless. Now, taking a look at, we spoke of triples moments ago. Look at some of the candy you guys have out here. What do we got? H2, H1 engines?
H2, H1.
Whoa.
272 H2s and a 69 H1.
Where did you guys get these?
well, this is one of our customers' bike.
Yeah.
So that he,
Okay.
he wanted us to build the motor. So then we building it.
So there you are, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you love the, with two strokes being so hot right now, the simplicity of a two stroke compared to everything that you got to do with the four stroke? It's easy, right? No valves, no cams to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, the engine has like 7 moving parts.
I just can't believe how clean this is. What do you guys do here? Soda blast, vapor blast? What's the process?
This is vapor blast.
Vapor
Yes.
Vapor blast. Is that something you do in-house? Is that something you send out?
No, we send it out.
You send out, okay. Is it relatively affordable to get a set of cases vapor blasted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's something I imagine you being in a pretty good area here, Escondido.
Right. It's a lot of hot rod companies and all kinds of powder coating place, chrome place, and all that is in here. So it's really easy to access to it. So that's why most of the day I'm just running around, bringing parts and take it to them, picking up, and stuff. That's what I do.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind, we got to go out here and see what's over your shoulder because we got a collection. We talked about some stalkers, guys, and here she is. Yeah, as you can see, this one not a resto rod. This one bone stock. Absolutely love it. Take a look, guys. It is beautiful. That is for sure. One of the many bikes here at Nori's shop. You call them, what do you call them? The weed burner mufflers. Speaking of exhaust, are these stock exhaust systems up here?
Yeah, this is all that CB750.
Oh, I bet you wish they were Z1s, huh?
Yeah, no, I got a few Z1s.
Wait a minute, let me see this.
Right
So, original Z1s?
Yeah.
Oh, those are worth huge money, aren't they?
I think so.
You
But,
think we better not reveal your
No, I'm
address?
just saving it for when I built the good 73 with the, matching number bike and stuff like that. Then I can use it.
Yeah, you get them boiled and re-chromed.
Well, that for those who are not in the know, we can let a little secret that's not so secret to the people in the industry, and that is right now there's so many reproduction parts available
Right.
from Z1 Enterprises, Z1 parts, and that includes exhaust. But nothing is more valuable than the original exhaust, and this is a great story because talked to so many guys who their shed looked like this, maybe one or two sets of exhaust hanging up, and what happened? They all went out to the garbage because they got sick
Right.
of looking at them. Why? Because as motorcycle guys, first thing you do as performance guys, you rip the exhaust off,
Right.
throw a Kirker pipe on it.
We had. I mean, it sickens me to think of all of the stock exhaust that went into the scrap bin back in the old days when we were tearing these bikes down and selling them for parts.
And now just so valuable. Well, that's pretty amazing what you guys have. Really, really impressive. Continuing on with this tour here, Nori, let's take a look at this. Is this one of your bikes? Is this a customer's bike?
No, it is customer's bike. He bought it just like that. Then he kind of tell me and then like, hey, what we should do, like, but it's got a lot of original piece on it.
I see
so
that.
I just kind of want to keep that original part. Then it's really hard, where you start and where you stop. So don't want to be too shiny, but still have a little original part.
Well, that you're bringing up another interesting point that we talk about at Mecum that John Cramen, the announcer, has told me it's a trend in the car world that's carrying over to the motorcycle world, and that is Americans tend to want the over-restored, jewelry-like, shiny bike. They want it shinier than it was in the showroom floor. Now, there's also a big market out there that wants it to look exactly how it looked in 1973. What do you prefer?
I like original ones. So
It's
restore,
true.
you can do it many times. So if like you have a motorcycle like this, I mean, this muffler is not original and a couple other things, but it's pretty good condition. So
really
I
is.
kind of want to keep these, some of the patinas here, gauges looking good, switches looking good and everything. Maybe this tank being repainted, but the side covers are all original and things. So yeah, I want to keep the original rim, maybe replace the spokes, tires, Hopefully we can find that original muffler, re-chroming it, and put that things back on. Maybe polished or hand polished some of the parts, not too shiny, not too crazy.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a little hand polish, right?
Right, yeah.
And then what do we have over here, Nori?
This one's a Max.
Mac, what do we got?
That
Give
is-
us a tour. Come on in.
It's a 73 Z1 frame.
Ooh.
The engine cases are KZ900. No, the
I think it's Z1.
Yeah, engine cases are 75 Z1, I think.
75 Z1.
And I built it in 1985. I started building it, and it was built as a race bike. It's got police bike forks on it, which are bigger than stock.
Police. Oh, I see.
And I
Okay.
built it. Yeah, I built it out of the salvage yard. So that's a GS 1100 swing arm that's on it,
Wow.
and it's got GSXR 1100 wheels on it now. It's had 5 different sets of wheels on it over the years.
So it's another resto rod, which is cool. That what I'm picking up on is you guys build them a certain way for Mecum for top dollar, but then there's just personal preference, right? If you like the bike like this, that's what it's all about.
Yep, and it's an absolute hoot to ride.
I bet it is. My goodness, what a beast. It's a beautiful bike. And over here we have a gorgeous Honda CB4. What is the story over here, guys?
Oh, this one is barn find. And,
A barn find.
Yeah. Like,
It's come a long way.
Original. It's only have a 200, what is the
It's
mile?
like 250 something miles.
Yeah, 242 miles,
Oh
just
my
like
gosh.
It's
Yeah,
in
we just-
somebody's garage for a long time.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
just got cleaned up the carburetors, slapped a battery in it, did a tune-up on it, and the thing runs like a top.
All these still have like a clear coating. See, original, it is not like high polished, not shiny. So this it's supposed to be. I mean, all the Z1s and things like that supposed to be look like this. Cut that
Gorgeous.
out.
Yeah, you don't see many like this anymore, do you?
You know, they still have a clear coating in the front fork, engine covers, and all that. Mufflers, no rust. I mean, it's a California bike.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then over here, we're seeing these getting increasingly collectible. The Honda Trail 70s, all the mini bikes coming. Where'd you get this one at, Nori?
This one's from my friend's warehouse, being sat there for the last like 20 years. So I said, hey, what are you gonna do with this? You know? So they said, oh no, you know, if you want it, you can buy it. You know? So yeah, I got it from him. So I didn't do anything to it yet. But
Very, very cool.
yeah, same things. This one's original like that. I kind of want to keep it this way.
Truly amazing what you guys are able to do. Then over here, we got the Honda RC51. Hello, whose bike is this?
Well, that one's mine.
Nori, do you have a personal bike?
No.
I actually bought that bike from Nori.
For Nori to ride.
From Nori in,
I know.
in 2005. Yeah.
Do you
know,
guys?
yeah, when I have a bike and they know I have a good bike and if people want to buy it from me, you know, so when I buy a bike and I ride around like a week or so, then people just come and, hey, Nori, I want to buy that. They take it away from my hand.
I just called him and I said, hey Nori, I'm kind of interested in an RC51. And in a couple of weeks he calls me and goes, Mac, I got one. I go, all right, bring it on up.
Good find. Good
You know,
find.
It had 2,300 miles on it, I think. It's got 82,000 on it now.
82,000.
And I just checked the valves and they're still in spec.
Guys, is this awesome or what? We want to thank Nori and Mac for having us. This is great information. Before we go any further, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there in YouTube and Facebook land right now that want to know, can I get Nori to work on my bike, restore my bike, and Mac? How does this work? Are you actively taking customers? Are you kind of just by appointment only?
Yeah, we have a lot of work lined up already, but
Yeah,
you
there's
know,
not many people doing what you do.
Right. So, but yeah, I mean, and, you know, you can contact, you know,
Off
whoever
this
wants.
website, right?
Yeah,
You got the website?
We got a website, or
Which is
Vintage Japs.
vintagejaps.com.
Yeah,
Check
dot
that
com.
out, guys.
Yeah.
Well, we got a little bit more to see, so I hope you guys are enjoying this. And come with your questions down below, because maybe we'll get Nori in the comments if we can get some restoration tips. And that's what I want to talk about next.
I mean,
Somebody else hanging out of the shop. What is your name, sir?
Kirby.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
What do you think about what these guys do over
Oh,
here?
it's amazing. This
truly
is the
is.
lair. It's my first time here.
Oh, so you're as blown away as I
Special
am.
treat. Yeah.
I love it. Well, Nori and Mac, I got a few more questions for you guys. How long does it take to go from a motorcycle like this to a finished product that you can take to Mecum? How long does that take you?
usually each bike's about like 3 months or so.
That's not bad.
Right, but you know, like it just at a more
That's
of like,
not
but if you
bad.
talking about the time of the prepare stuff, you know, like putting motorcycle together, we can do it about 2 weeks.
Wow.
But all the work is, you know, like a polishing, chroming, vapor blasting, cylinder bore, zinc plating, powder coating, all those deals takes time.
Yeah, it's like
Also,
all-
before we
all the
taking
prep.
it to the powder coating place, we cannot take all this oily things. You know, we have to wash it out, clean up. Then we taking it, zinc plating, all the bolts, nuts. You know, we have to decide which bolt's gonna go or not or what. If like too rusty, we take the rust off, and too oily, we take the oil off. So, and in each parts after we part them out, we kind of inspect. You know, like some, let's say this headlight bracket has a little bent on it. So which is maybe we have to send it to the paint shop, or it can be fixable or not, you know. So welding shop and all that people involved. So then we send them out. So the cylinder needs to be checked, or the cracks or cylinder fin was knocked out. So if that happens, we have to weld it first. Then we bore it. Then we go to vapor blasting. Then we assemble.
Wow.
So yeah, the crankcase same way. You know, this one's totally, the motor is locked up, so.
The motor's locked up on this one.
You know, like the pistons won't move anything. So after we part them out, we inspect all the training gears and everything. Cranks is good or not. I mean, crank, we can send them out to rebuild. Then, yeah, same things, like sometimes case having a problem. So it needs a welding job or.
Do you sell a lot privately, or is Mecum the bulk of your business?
Mecum is like kind of we going for fun.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, at first, we started
And
about-
breaking world records too, so
Yeah.
it's a little more than fun. Hopefully, you got a steak dinner out of that H2.
Yeah, Mac likes it. Me like it. Sometimes we get out of here, go there, and meet with a lot of good people. Have some kind of I call the same disease. Like a big as a
we
motorcycle.
do. We do.
Kind of,
We
crazy
do.
kind of guy. So yeah, I mean, every time I go, I meet with the new people, and then also they ask me to do the job. Part of it of my advertisement, part of it my fun, or our fun was, we always, get out of there, spend a week over there, drinking.
I tell everybody to go. That's why I love it. And if you guys haven't seen our coverage yet, check out the videos. Some of them have over 1 million views on Facebook. It's awesome. And YouTube as well. Working on bikes is therapeutic for many. It's a lot of fun. It can also be a headache, though, if you don't know what you're doing. You can also sink a whole lot of money. Let's back up for the casual fan here if we had to. Ballpark, first off, when you're just looking for a bike like this, how do you determine how much you are willing to spend in this condition? If somebody out there says, yeah, this is my dream bike, I want it. It's like you just said, you got a locked up motor, you got a bike that needs completely stripped down.
And the missing the cylinders.
And missing
heads
parts.
And the tank and headlights and everything. The seat look like these,
So how do you come up with a price in your head?
Yeah, it's the lace.
Oh my gosh. So if you I don't know if you mind me asking what you got this for, or what somebody should pay for this. It's an interesting question in my book.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it depends, but this much work, usually, like a parts and chromes and all that stuff, maybe costing about 10 grand or something.
10 grand of process that it will need.
Right.
I would even think that number would be more based on some of the stuff. I'm sure you've learned the little tricks because you've done it so long that you can keep costs down. But that's what I'm saying is that being said, the fact that this could take 10 grand upwards, what is this bike worth as it sits right now?
This one's about maybe 3-4 grand to me.
Okay.
Right. Or less, depends on the California side. Always motorcycles are pretty expensive.
Yeah, I know that. That's why.
If you go to East Coast, it's a lot cheaper. Somewhere buried in the snow or something.
You go someplace where they don't have a year-round riding.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are the true experts, and you guys know, and you know what it could be. I'm glad you threw that number out at me, because I would even, if I was going to buy this bike right now, I would probably be looking to spend much, much less, because I know how much it would take.
Much less is better.
Much less is better, absolutely.
Sure. If I can pick this things up for $1,500 or something, yeah.
Well, I bought the first H2 that I bought when I was in the Navy. It was a 72, and I bought it in 76. And I paid $275 for it.
Good Lord.
I had to it had been crashed, and I had to rebuild the top end.
If we could all just go back in time. I don't know what you're seeing. I just did a video recently too. Dirt bikes, 2-stroke nationals. I was at Glen Helen last week. 2-stroke dirt bikes are becoming collectible now. We got there was a time where you could have one $800, $1,000. I got an old KX250. They're going up to like $4 or $5 grand, and people are restoring them.
Wow.
So following the same trend that we're seeing here.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not started today or like a year ago. So all the motorcycle I got is like pretty much I bought it a long time ago. So I say, this one's like $3-4 grand, but I didn't pay that much for it.
Right.
So
Well, I'm sure
that's the kind of trick, like even Mecum, sometimes we, didn't sell with what we want. So if you started with a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 bike, and you put in $10,000 plus your labor, so sometimes, you just not gonna make it.
It's a lot of risk on your end.
Yeah.
And I think that's where your famous chopstick line came from, right?
Yes.
You didn't get a chopstick up your bum, did you? Okay. Then for those of you who know, that's what Nori said. He didn't want to end up with chopstick. Well, Nori, let's just quickly maybe give people a look at the process. So starts like this. Get stripped down. Frame goes out to powder coat and comes back something like this. Oof, amazing. And what else do you send out to powder coat? You'll send the swing arm and the other components?
Top triple or triple. Depends on the bike. This one doesn't have any top triple like powder coated. So this
what are you telling the powder coat guy? Do you want a shinier finish than stock, or do you want to try to replicate stock?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like original frame being painted, not the powder coat sometime. Okay. So, but this powder coat is like, again, in the over restore type stuff, it's like a way shinier. than a stock.
But definitely the best finish, much better than paint.
Right, and it's stronger than paint.
Absolutely.
So,
Which is cool too, because talking about some people's preferences, I remember I was at Mecum, I think it was about 4 years ago, and a bunch of rich guys bought a bunch of H2s. And I remember asking these guys, oh, what are you going to do? You going to put them in the corner? They said, we're going to ride the hell out of them.
Right.
So sometimes that's the situation, and they'll be thankful. So we get the powder coated parts back like this. Engine goes out to get vapor blasted and ends up looking like this.
yeah, actually, engine got to be, in order to do the vapor blast, you have to be, everything has to be in piece. Cannot vapor blast it complete like this.
So totally disassembled.
Right.
Shoo.
Heads, cylinder, case, uppercase, lowercase, all the gears needs to be out. Valves, springs, everything needs to be out.
Well, Nori, for those who do not know, I can step in. Having been through this process, I've never done it with a CB engine. I've done it with a KZ engine. You have to have so much know-how. The process of taking some of these crusty, rusty, stubborn bolts out, the process of getting all the right seals, all the parts that you need, that is extensive. You're a specialist in this area, and it's what advice would you give the average person that wants to do this without your experience? Because I know advice I'd give them.
Take a lot of pictures.
That's great advice as well.
Yeah.
What I would say, here's what I don't want to discourage anybody, because I say there's so much grunt work you can do on your own. Work on your bike, polish your bike, clean your bike. But I'm going to say a project like this definitely need to enlist the help of somebody like yourself. It will just save you. It will save you years, is what I think. Somebody that can just point you in the right direction, tell you what you need to buy, because it's not as easy as people think, is it?
Yeah, I mean, if my motorcycle, I can paint the motor and then polish the cases. Like usually this Honda motor is pretty good. You can adjust the valve from outside and everything. So maybe before you get into totally restore, so maybe you can do kind of outside cleanup and things to make it almost look like it. So
absolutely gorgeous.
They do like a cosmetic restoration.
yeah, cosmetic restores. As long as you got the good compressions and everything, its motor's pretty good.
Very cool. And then here's some of the other parts and pieces that come back. How about, I mentioned the seals, the little things, the cables, the garments, the tires, that all adds up. That's so much money. Do you have a certain go-to place that you like to get parts from, or do you try to?
Yeah, CB750s, we have a few places to go. And local guys, Z1 Parts, they have a lot of parts.
Z1 Parts, they're great as well.
Or, like a David Silver spares, or a 4x1.
Yeah.
Bunch of different companies sells a lot of stuff, especially that whatever the popular bike, usually they sell seals and all kinds of stuff. So if some of the seals we cannot get it, so then we buy from Honda, or we got some Japanese company website. They have a weird number of seals.
Or those H2 seals that came from Norway.
Yeah. So yeah.
But they're absolutely perfect.
Yeah, some of it that's not inches. They use it's like a JIS or something. It's a special, what do you call that? I don't know really well, but like that sizes is different than American sizes. So there's some company sells specially for the O-rings or the gaskets
the
and stuff.
metric O-rings.
Yeah, metric O-rings.
Very cool, guys.
Yeah.
I love it. I want to show just a couple more things before we get out of here. I got to see that parts tray that you have back there. Looks
the
like
carousel?
you got to show me that. That
Yeah,
looks like a
yeah.
Z1 Paradise.
God,
This is from.
That actually came from
the salvage yard.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
This one you can put.
Nori might be getting some calls for parts.
This is a millions of stuff.
What
If
do
you
you-
want to see the parts, we can go upstairs.
Yeah, let's go upstairs, please.
Yeah.
But take a look at that. What are we looking at here, Nori?
Oh, this one's just a bunch of junk.
Everything. I see
Not
some
junk.
air cleaners, junk.
Not the junk.
Junk, quote unquote junk. I'm sure
Yeah.
you've seen what some of this stuff's going for on eBay.
Yeah, sometimes like original. The turn signals and stuff. Like people care about the original. Original has like some kind of numbers on it, so we keep some of the good turn signal here. Yeah, and then like shifter levers, expansion jumpers, and heads and starter. Like for just little pieces or parts, we keep all this many of like a petcock for the H2s and.
Well, Nori, moments ago you mentioned Z1. We got Z1 Parts. We got Z1 Enterprises, two great companies that I deal with extensively. And Mike Konopacki, who broke the Z1 record, told us that a lot of his components were reproduction. There's so much reproduction available now, which is great. Makes it easier for a guy like you. But what do you prefer? Do you prefer going reproduction, or do you prefer trying to find the actual stock components?
Depends on the parts. You know, it's like pretty much you can build everything from aftermarket pieces now. So, but I prefer using the stock.
Love it. Absolutely beautiful. Well, guys, before we go upstairs, let's see what else we got here, because Nori's just got buried treasure all over. Is this great or what? Let me know what you think down below in the comments for sure. If you've ever attempted a restoration like this, I want to know your thoughts, your tips, everything. Let's see what we got here. All right, Nori, what's this big Suzuki we're working on over here?
This one is just that some of the stuff I started, then I stopped it.
What year? What year?
This is 1980 Suzuki Katana.
Nice.
It's a pretty rare model, but I put a Bandit 1200 motor and the suspension on it, and also the gauges.
Very cool.
So now I mock all the parts, and after this, we're gonna check the wire harness and the switches all work.
Are the 80s bikes coming in collectability, you think? I mean, we know it's all about the Z1, it's all about the triples,
No, I think
but
it's going to be coming.
80s bikes coming?
Yeah. Now it's like a GSXRs and stuff, like a creeping up a price.
I got to sneak in a quick question for you since you're an expert too. Why did the GSs fall off a cliff? I still, and maybe we'll be kicking ourselves in 10 years, I'm seeing nice original GSs going for like $5,000.
Oh, yeah.
What the heck? Is it overproduced or just not collectible?
I don't know why. It is some reason the GS and the Yamaha motorcycle and Suzuki, it doesn't have a much follower or something. I mean, the Suzuki GS, the GS 1100, 1150, actually motors, I think it is better than the Kawasaki's and things, you know? I mean, drag racing,
Yeah.
you use it a lot.
Well, that's what I want. GS is a legend in drag racing, and I just wonder, the way the GS is now, that's how the KZ was like 20 years ago, seeing them for $1,000 at yard sales, and I just wonder, is it coming, or am I going to be kicking myself for not stocking up on GSs? Well,
I mean, I like it. You know, it's a great...
nice one. You might pick it up, put it in the back in the garage, and
I love it. I love it. So we got Crusty Rusty here. Just like the grudge world, there's when I go to grudge shops, there's secrets. So there's secrets here too. We're not going to mention what has a blanket under it. But what else do we have, Mr. Nori?
Oh, that one's the CL, the Honda, that orange one. It's the CL72.
And what else is back there? Is that another two-stroke?
Yeah, the other one,
we
one's
gotta
the
get close.
1975 H1.
1970. Oh, wow.
Actually, my friend that bought it as a basket case, so that a seller told him all good stuff, but actually it wasn't.
Yeah.
So, you know, we
It's clean, man.
yeah, we opened up a case and everything to inspect everything and put it back.
It's getting close for sure. Very, very nice. Well, hey, if you don't mind, I say let's go upstairs and see what's up there.
Yeah, sure.
Is Nori awesome or what? This is behind the scenes, baby. Behind the scenes, opening up this great shop to us. Hope you guys are loving every minute of this. I am, that's for sure. I do. I hear some bikes in the background. Nori, Escondido, California, good area for motorcycles.
Yeah.
Great weather conducive for
I
that.
think they're famous as like hot rods too. They have a lot of hot rod shop around here.
That is so cool.
So yeah, you know, like here's my...
Holy moly, Nori. I mean, we're just looking at all different years here. Everything very organized.
Yeah, some of the original motorcycle people care about that we all have like a date. I mean, not the date, a month and a year.
Super
so
cool.
It's 72 or this and that. So I just keep it here.
Wow, this is amazing.
Some of the stuff we sell, like old parts in eBay.
Set up with a little shipping station
Yeah.
here. Do you do a lot of online work?
No,
No?
no.
I was gonna say you mainly just because a lot of people make businesses out of that. They set up a ship station. They set it on eBay and.
But it's like for me, it's sitting in the front of the computer is kind of torture. You know, like I just can't do it.
Oh, and what do we have here? Don't tell me original.
No, not the original.
Still,
Hey,
hey, they've done a nice
But,
job.
Original one's like way up here. You know, like I have a lot of gas tanks. And
Oh my
gas
gosh!
stations and
Here's something that's not too old. Is my dad's bike, the ZRX. That must have been.
ZRX.
Is
I
that
had one,
where
too.
the shocks came from?
yeah.
Okay.
It's all like a stators, and it's all kind of, you know, not the junk, but it's a parts, you know, fenders and things like that. Because we never know. Sometimes like a Z1 parts and all that too. Some of the manufacturers stop making it, so that we have to rechrome
Yes.
that I mean, the original one.
This is all
We got,
Z.
like,
Oh,
triples.
Nori, you might be in trouble getting me over here because I'm the KZ guy. I start to see
call
some
me.
stuff that I might need to get my wallet out.
Yeah.
I might need to get my
I
wallet
mean,
out.
all like used clocks and
Oh, wow.
you know, like some of the used pipes and carkers and
Good Lord.
Yoshis and you know, up there so you see all the
all this
Mark
exhaust.
II, CV70 Z1 tank. That's original one.
Let me
over
see. I
there.
can't see. I can't see. Holy
Like those
wow.
things.
Original. Okay, so and it's got a few blemishes, but we talked.
yeah.
But we talked about
But
this.
we
It's
have,
only.
like, a lot of these, you
it's-
know, like original tank, and some of it still have a color, some of it not.
So I got to ask you, Nori, what is more valuable right now? Original that looks like this, but it's original, versus highly restored, perfect, fresh paint.
I don't know. Original like this, it's like if people just can't use it. It's too rough.
Too rough.
Yeah, but the
But that is
original
exactly the way it was in the
but
70s.
original like this maybe worth some value. See this?
Oh, that's original.
Still
Oh
have
my.
original paint on it.
What do you think that's worth? Is that a 70? What year is that? 70?
74.
74. The
No.
Z1A?
Yeah.
74 Z1A? Nice. What do you think a Z1A tank in that condition is worth?
I don't know. I try to selling it, so maybe I don't know, $700 or something.
I think you even sold yourself short because it's original the way stuff is now. I would say 20 years ago, $50. Now, that might be $1,000 tank right there or more. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, depends on how bad people look for. I mean, this is all the H1 kind of the stations. We have old clocks and some of the clutch
I
parts.
love how you call the
and,
gauges the clocks. I love
Yeah.
that. That's cool.
And all this.
Where are you from
graphics.
originally, Nori?
Japan.
So cool, man. That is awesome. Do you still have family in Japan?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Is it special to work on the bikes that came from Japan
Special?
for you? Special for you, and that, you know, sometimes Americans get sentimental about our Chevys and things like that.
I don't know. It's nothing special to me. That's the only things I can do.
That is so cool. Well, the reason I say that too is I go to a place called Mid-Ohio. I don't know if
I've
you've
heard
ever.
about it, yeah.
So it's really good. You should come out and check it out. But
Right.
they would have some really professional, cool businessmen from Japan, and they showed up and they were buying a lot of stuff. And they said they want to bring it back to Japan because they say this is our heritage. We want it back here. Have you encountered anybody like that?
Oh, that things wants to bring
From
it back to
Japan, and maybe wants to bring the bike back, just like maybe an American would go
Yeah, yeah,
find
yeah.
a Corvette over
Yeah.
in Japan that wants to
Yeah.
bring it back.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know how, but you know, like they have so many motorcycles, but they still want to buy it.
Yeah, they're legendary bikes, that's for sure. Legendary bikes and legendary.
Yeah,
legendary
right here
company.
is another, you know, KZ, Z1, cylinder heads and things, and CV750s right here. Some of the RD.
So
They have a lot of tank, and like, you know, this is a pile of H1 stuff, you know, like 69, 71, 73.
Oh my
all
gosh. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. You've got treasure up here, Nori.
Yeah.
So if you're not actively selling, do you just save these for when you're doing a build that this might fit?
Yeah, I mean, because you know, like I always like it. You know, I used to not keeping anything. Then I sell everything. Then one day, it's a bunch of motorcycle come in my hand. And why I sold that? You know.
Keeping a lot here, that's
Yeah,
for sure.
Keep it here.
Wow. guys.
Yeah, this is not just about, you know, not everything. I
Uh-huh.
have another storage and all that stuff full of parts and motorcycles.
Super cool.
So this is only few motorcycle I have here. So then when I build everything, then I go to my storage and then pick up another 5-6 bike and bring it back and build it again. So yeah, then I still have a lot of, lots of parts.
Well, you being the knowledgeable motorcycle restorer from Japan, I got to ask you this one too, that we know a bike that certainly was talked about this past year in Mecum was the Z2. Only available in Japan, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
So have you ever seen one? Have you ever had your hands on one other than the one we saw?
I seen a couple.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I think an old military person or something bring it back to this country.
Bring it back
and
this-
ride around.
That was the story I heard at Mecum. That's
Yeah.
how a few got here. Is normally
Right.
it was guys in the service that bought a
Right.
Z2, brought it back. Do you put any credence into the story that the guy told me where he believes it was the Z2, which for those who do not know, 750 cc's. That was the maximum at Japan. This was the maximum you could sell at that time. He believes it was influence from Honda. You ever hear anything about that? That it was the
Oh, because they
rivalry
sold
between
yeah.
Honda and Honda did not want Kawasaki to sell the Z1 900 in Japan. That was just this man's theory, which I thought was very interesting.
I think it is power restriction or something, or like that size of the motor restriction. I think back then.
Back then.
I mean, I wish I'm old like a Mac, but I'm not that old. So
I don't know either.
Like, hey,
This guy was, it
1975,
sounds like a
yeah.
conspiracy theory, but this guy was
Yeah.
basically telling me, he's like, yeah, Honda had the influence, they had the control, and that was really a shot at Kawasaki in that market. Now, in the
Right.
United States, they were able to sell the Z1 900,
Right,
as
right.
we know.
Yeah.
But that's why the Z2 was so rare, and we'll have to, hopefully we see a few more of those floating
Oh
around.
yeah. Well, yeah. I think, like a Mecum happens. It's a lot of money bike. I mean, in Japan, it's worth a lot too.
That is so cool.
So
man.
yeah.
What a great time it was. How old are you, Nori?
I'm 51.
50, you're still a young man. You look younger than that. Okay, so that's why I can't ask you too far back. You're too young. You're too young for a lot of this stuff.
I know. That's why everything I have to study.
I love it. At what year did you come to the United States?
1991.
So
I
cool,
think.
man. So cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you're here doing your thing. And look at all this. Uh-oh, I see a set of carburetors. What do we have here? What do we have here?
This one's some of the smoothbores.
So,
I keep the 29s.
this is what year? What size is this? 29 smoothbores?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I
How
have
much,
to keep-
Nori? How much?
No, this one's kind of rough. But
I might take 'em back
I
and-
keep it, like
Ah.
yeah. When I
I'm looking for a
make
set.
some bikes, I want
I'm
to
looking.
put it on.
This is a perfect example of something that went nuts. So I can tell you for sure, 25 years ago, because my dad has a set, $400 or $500 set of carburetors, right? Now we're hearing guys restoring these things, $3,000.
What?
Yeah, I've heard.
Oh,
well, that
man,
might
I'm
Bruce
thinking about
Sauer.
selling it now.
My buddy Bruce Sauer, he restores them very, very well in Ohio. He says $3,000's pie in the sky, but you can list them for $3,000 and probably get $200 to $1,500.
Wow.
But that they have to be all gone through and vapor blasted.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But my goodness, man,
Yeah.
nice carbs.
I mean, like again, the KZ
Ooh.
cylinders and stuff. And, that one's this one's a more of like H2, H1 section of all that.
Got a good question for you because I see this tag, rusty inside. I have that problem with my 77. What do you do to rectify that? There's a process to fix these tanks, right?
Yeah, I mean, original tank, we really want to use it. Then we send them out to the radiator shop to boil it to bare metal, or either you can put like like a rust remove kind of thing.
Yeah,
Shake with the bolts and nuts.
It's a
and clean them up.
common problem. That's another good tip. If you're watching this looking to restore your motorcycle, take a good look inside the gas tank because I can tell you mine, I probably should have sent it out and it'll clog the carburetors up if there's rust coming
here's
there.
the tons of cylinders and heads and clutches and all that stuff.
What do we got here? H2?
This was mostly H1.
H1.
Yeah.
I got to tell you about my dad's bike. Let's see. I bet you know it. S2 350.
S2.
You got any S2 stuff?
350.
Hold on.
That's
boy.
my favorite.
Oh, that's your favorite.
Yeah.
That's my favorite too. My dad's got.
I sold one to my buddy Frankie. So actually, I can show you Frankie's garage. It's next door.
Oh, I can't wait to see
got
it,
more
man.
bikes.
We're gonna see it, and you're gonna laugh at this one, Nori, because when I talk about value and everything. So my dad has a S2 350 that he bought brand new.
Yeah.
We were also riding by one day in like '97, and we saw one sitting outside. It was beautiful.
Wow.
So we stopped, and the guy knew bikes, right? We asked for a price. He said, "Well, it's a 350. Give me 350."
Good.
Can you believe it?
Like the Mac, used to work for, salvage yard.
Uh-huh.
And we buy the motor. It's $1 a cc.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's like $350.
Gotta
$350.
love it. What a show.
$900.
What a show.
Yeah.
Take a look at this guy. He's talking about some goodies back here. Yeah, there's plenty of goodies.
Things.
And we gotta meet Frank. You talked about Frank. We gotta go
Frank.
meet him, right? And we got all kind of. There's plenty of motorcycle enthusiasts in Escondido, California. That's what I've learned. Let's go meet Frank. So Frank's not here today, but we can see his bikes.
Yeah.
Dang it! Sorry we missed you, Frank. I'm sure you'll see this video. Holy moly! What do we got in here, Nori?
This is part of mine.
Oh my!
But you can see.
Whoa! I know why he brought me here. Oh,
You gotta show
now
your dad.
I know. Yeah, my dad watches all my stuff on YouTube. I know why you brought me here. Holy moly. Look at this beautiful S2 350. Oh my gosh. Absolutely gorgeous, guys. Definitely one of my favorite bikes of all time. So many awesome bikes in here too. Unbelievable. Well, Nori, S2350, you did it, my friend. So this is why you brought me over here. I love it. Thank you so much, man.
I mean,
You were
talking
awesome.
about your dad for the S3.
Well, tell me.
S2.
Well, let me tell you the funny story too, the sentimental story. My dad bought it. My dad's racing number is 935 to this day. The reason it is, he bought this bike for $935 out the door. Would have been nice.
Yeah.
So tell me what you have done to this thing. It's beautiful.
This one's, it was kind of a little bit crusty, rusty side, when I got it, but it has a mostly original, so then I kind of want to keep the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the airbox still on it too.
Yeah, so we changed, the tires and spokes, but it still have original rim, original muffler I shined up, and a couple pieces I polished them up, like these covers and things.
Looking good, man.
Yeah.
Looking good,
But
Nori.
other than that, we just kept the original paint, original gauges, handlebars, and all that stuff. We changed the master cylinder, but it's mostly original. Then I like it, keep it that way.
What do we got over here? You might as well just take us right down the line at all the great bikes that we have. 350 Honda.
Yep. This is all Frank's bike, but it's a 350.
Have you restored all these, or did Frank?
No. He bought it, then he bring it to us, repair it.
What year we got here, Nori?
This one's 71.
71, okay. Beautiful.
Yeah.
The Hodoka? What year is that?
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, 75.
75,
Yeah.
Hodoka.
This also 75.
Old school Yamaha. I remember this one. Because I had the 400 in this year, the Enduro 400, where my leg still hurts from kicking it.
Yeah, when you got it, it's like shooting a lot of oil from the muffler. So we find out that one of the crank seals bad.
Oh no.
So we changing it. So yeah, this is the Frank's garage, and
Wow.
got a lot of goodies
Good
here.
Lord. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh man. Look at the old school Honda
Look
CBF.
at that.
Wow. Where'd this come from?
I don't know, it's his collection.
Beautiful. And we got some small bore bikes back here as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Some European.
Absolutely beautiful. Well, shout out Frank. And oh my gosh. I'm glad I mentioned the S2.
Yeah.
You got a perfect one down here. Blue one too.
Good one here.
That's the 935 bike too. 900. Don't you wish you could get it for $935?
Oh, yeah,
What can you get now for $935? Can I even buy? Can I buy a top end for that on eBay? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I buy a bike and it came with that old receipt from a motorcycle dealership.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that I keep all those things. Like a brand new price was $835 or something. Monthly payment is like $13 a month or something like that. So I was like, wow.
Totally awesome, Nori.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for showing me, guys. It is the two-stroke. Long live these beautiful, beautiful two-strokes. Well, guys, before we get out of here, let's take a look at Nori's office because there's just buried treasure everywhere. I love this. Oh, Nori, the parts never end, my friend. What do we have in your... Is this your office, I would call it? Okay.
Yeah.
You got a heck of an office.
Some of the new parts and you gotta check this out.
What in the heck is that?
Brand new helmet.
What the...
Look at this thing. See? Beautiful, right?
Oh, I love it, man.
Went to China and he picked up. And
That
I was,
is
hey,
so
this is for
cool.
you. Yeah, it's
That
really
is so
cool.
cool. Look at all this stuff finally powder coated. I'm sure you got a local powder coat, man. That's good, huh?
Yeah.
That is
I mean,
very cool.
all those. Like some
Look
of the
at
new
this,
parts,
guys.
like a little
Look
bit
at all
of
this stuff.
brake lines and flanges and ignitions and bearings and things like that. Just keeping it here.
Well, Nori, I hate to break this to you, and maybe it's a good thing, but with the amount of people, enthusiasts following my page, my channel, you might be getting some calls for parts. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
All right, you might be might be
yeah.
busy on the shipping department because look at this, guys. VintageJaps.com is the website, right? VintageJaps.com. The phone number is there as well, so people can find
or
it.
email, because most of the time I'm just working.
What's the best what's the best email?
VintageJaps at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Yeah.
There you go, guys.
Yeah,
You're
some
gonna
of the, like a phone number. I mean, so much like weird phone calls now.
Yeah, oh,
If I don't
me and
know
you
the-
both. Me and you
if I
both.
don't know the number, then I don't
Yeah,
answer it. pretty much.
sometimes it wants
you know
me.
this bike, Motocompo?
Ooh,
Have you seen it before?
what the heck is this?
Yeah.
Where'd you find this at?
I found these things like, I don't know, like 15, maybe more years ago
my
in
God.
beach town in San Diego. Some guy brought it back with that airplane. He was a surfer guy and he surfed her in Japan. And
Ah,
he found this scooter.
I've never seen one.
No?
Wow, got to be very rare, I imagine, right?
Yeah, this is called Motocompo, and in Japan they used to sell called City. It's that little car, and
wow.
this one's one of the option for the car.
Super cool.
Yeah. So,
Super
yeah,
cool.
but
Super cool. And
when
super...
I'm in Japan, I had a car. I didn't have this, but now I don't have a car, but I have this.
That is so cool. A lot of motorcycle enthusiasts over in Japan, right?
Yeah.
That is cool. And from what I've heard, you tell me the small bore bikes are more popular over there.
Smaller?
Smaller, like
Yeah.
smaller CC, smaller displacement.
Yeah, my age group, used to be that Japan have a motorcycle like a license restrictions. It's like up to 400 cc.
Okay.
And more than that, you have to get the
You
special
have to
license.
get a special
for the
bike.
bigger-
I think I was once told, maybe things changed. I was once told a 600cc bike's a big bike over there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where to us, a Hayabusa and a ZX14
Oh yeah,
is a big bike.
But if you go to over 401 cc or 1300 cc, you go big one.
You go big one.
Yeah,
That's right.
but like a street is small, and they don't have to go that big.
I started up a bike this year at Daytona Bike Week that absolutely scared me. It was a Boss Haas, not trike,
yeah.
not trike, a two-wheeler.
Really?
It was like being on the squat rack, just trying to get it up off the kickstand. Then I fired this thing up and it almost blew my hair off.
Yeah, pretty much
crazy.
you sit in the V8 motor or something, right? That's crazy.
Gosh, man.
Yeah.
Well, this is so awesome, Nori. I just really, really appreciate your time. And guys, hit them up. Serious inquiries only. Don't ask them to wire $1,000 to Nigeria like some of you guys are asking me on Facebook. Serious inquiries only. So before we go, guys, also another very important thing we want to focus in on. We talked about powder coating. We talked about mechanicals. We talked about the engines. A lot of people forget about the wheels and just how difficult they are to restore. And take a look at this wheel. And Nori and Mac, what do we end up making them look like? Oh, bam! Bada bang. How do we do this, guys? And I'm sure they're true, straight, and
Yeah.
roll well.
All chrome, the zinc plates,
Ooh.
and yep.
So how do we go from crusty rusty, probably some broken spokes, loose spokes, wobbly, to 100% true chrome, beautiful, polished, fresh rubber?
Polish everything, and replace the bent and broke stuff.
Is that it? One of the more difficult, tedious processes.
Yeah, that's what I do.
The hardest.
Mac doesn't want to do it.
The hardest, part, the hardest part out of all of this is those damn rim locks.
Oh yeah, Fire has the rim locks.
those are a pain.
in the back.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So you guys true them up here and change the tires here.
Yep.
Well, that's one more thing you can do in house.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Some
And
stuff
that's
we do.
not an easy thing to do at all.
Right. Yeah.
What advice would you have for people when it comes to wheels?
Comes to wheel. I mean, this one's like we use its original rim.
Yes.
So before putting them out, make sure the wheel's straight before you chrome it. So sometimes you just cut the spokes, send them out chrome, come back. You try to racing it, then it getting go like this, So
Then what do you buy? Aftermarket spoke kit or reproduction spoke kit?
Reproduction spoke kits.
Yeah,
And
spoke kit like a Buchanan's is the best.
Okay.
Yeah, but any other company sells some zinc plated one.
And
so
you put them up on the truing wheel?
Yep. It's here.
Here we go. I'll tell you, there's a lot of guys that don't like doing that. That's a fine art.
I know.
That's
yeah.
a fine art.
Whatever Mac doesn't want to do, then I do.
I do them too, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's why you guys are such a great team. I just keep seeing more stuff too. Look at all the exhaust collars up there, the levers, the brake pedals, so dang organized. Oh my goodness. Holy moly, I might spend too much money here. I'm going to leave with that S2. I think we need a price quote and see if American Airlines can let me put that into checked luggage. I want to take that S2 home. This is just so cool, guys. Again, down below in the comments, if you've ever restored a motorcycle, if you've ever dreamed of restoring a motorcycle, I want to hear about them. If you have any questions for these guys, let me know.
Next,
we got a
10 minutes or so.
We got a call.
Is that okay? Good.
Well, guys, you'll never believe this. Who's on the phone right now? Nori makes things happen. We're going to go over to Z1, which is amazing. We're going to tour that. You're going to see that in our next video, but let's land this plane right now. But Nori has got a Rolodex. Yes, he does. Thank you, Nori. Gosh, is this a beautiful motorcycle or what? Totally awesome.
All right, Mac.
Okay, I'm gonna.
So this is how it's really done, huh? Oh my goodness. I always wondered the secrets of motorcycle restoration. This is how they do it, guys. He's got the teapot, he's got the saw. That's how they make motorcycle magic.
Yeah. Oh, this one turned. Yay. Look at that.
Oh, it's finger tied.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Look at this one. Oh, it's still moving a little bit.
Yeah, this rod. That rod is totally stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, pretty good. Yeah. I mean, all this stuff like a rusty thing. Yeah, these maybe.
What do you spray that down with?
Yeah, or heat them up and spray it. Dip it in W40 whole bike or something.
The nice thing is these fenders are stainless.
Yeah, it's not rusting out.
Yeah, so they if they're not banged up too bad, they come out real good.
Yeah.
Seat pan, it's like
This is a good one though.
Yeah,
See that you still have this. We still have a seat.
yeah, Swiss
Look at
cheese.
these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch your hands.
That thing sat out in the rain with the cover busted off. That took years.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff you wish these bikes could talk. I know the barn find that my dad found, the whole outside looks like crusty rusty, like it was underwater. Inside of the tank is perfect.
Right.
It's like, how does that happen?
Right.
My
Yeah.
tank's crusty rusty inside. Cycledrag Universe, did I tell you to kick your feet up and relax or what? That was a tour, my friends. Nori,
Hey.
Mac, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I think I met you guys at the very first Mecum I went to, and I can tell right away, you guys are just consummate professionals. You know your craft. It is so awesome. You're keeping these amazing vintage bikes alive, and I know so many people out there, we'll be able to see from the comments, are loving it all over the world. What's that mean to you? That people have admired your bikes. Now, of course, we get a few haters out there. That's normal.
Yeah.
Haters, we love the lovers. We love the haters too, because the haters they keep us on our toes and they show that they're paying attention. But the people just worldwide that said your H2 is the finest they've ever seen, your work's the finest they've ever seen. What's that mean to you guys?
Yeah, it means a lot.
Yeah.
You know, like we just spending so much time and effort into it. So, but my intention is like, just, those crusty, rusty motorcycles and sit in somebody's backyard, and we get in it and we make it run and it give life again.
Give them a
And
new life, yeah.
yeah, then it
New
goes
life.
to somebody's hands and people got smile on.
Amen. Well,
That's-
you guys are
that's all it
definitely the smile makers. So thank you very much, and thank you for having me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out all of our Mecum coverage from the past 3-4 years. If you haven't, they're in it. You'll see his record-breaking X2. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, here's another one for you. Subscribe right in the middle. And if there's anything fast or classic motorcycles, we are in. Cycledrag rolls on.